Hey everybody, welcome back to the Working Man's Whiskey. I'm Bobby. Guys, tonight's review is going to be a revisitation of my very first review that I ever did on this channel. So here it is, guys. George Dickel number 12. And guys, I picked this originally for my first review because they represented everything that this channel stands for. I look for great value for an affordable price for the hardworking uh, men and women out there. I work really hard for my money, guys, and but I can't afford crazy whiskeys. This is kind of just little little bit of information for anybody who might be new out there, or anybody who cares to know what this channel is about. But anyway, it's just tough to afford a lot of the high end whiskeys. I mean, there are some great high end whiskeys out there, but there are so many whiskeys that you can get that are great quality for an affordable price, and this represented all of that. It's just a great blue collar kind of whiskey. It's a Tennessee whiskey. Um, I don't know if I'd say if it rivals Jack Daniels. I think there's more of a rivalry probably between um, Jack Daniels and Jim Beam. But as far as Tennessee whiskey goes, guys, this is the one that kind of seems to get lost in the shuffle sometimes. I mean, I talk to uh, friends of mine, coworkers, talk to a lot of people about whiskey, and everybody automatically goes to Jack Daniels. Oh, you like whiskey, man? Jack Daniels, good stuff, huh? Jack Daniels is okay. They have some okay stuff. I enjoy, Gentleman Jack and, um, some of their single barrel offers and all that. Old Number Seven's okay. Kind of have to be in the mood to drink Old Number Seven. But George Dickel, I feel, is just so good. I mean, the quality's great. The 12 here is my favorite of the George Dickels that I've had. I really want to try out one of the George Dickel Selects, Distiller Select, I think it's called, at some point. But it's a little bit more. And when I first reviewed this, I was finding George Dickel for number 12 here for right around 16 or 17 bucks a bottle, something like that, maybe even 15 bucks. But in recent months and the past couple years, really, it's really gone up. It's the price has spiked, and probably rightfully so. They probably realized they had a pretty good product on their hands, and the people didn't mind paying a little bit more. Although, uh, I mean, I loved George Dickel at the at that price right there in the teens, 15, 16 bucks. Um, I've seen it as expensive recently as like 32.99. I'm just, it's insane. How much whiskey is kind of going up in price. But this one here, got lucky, guys. I went to just one of the local stores here, and they had several whiskeys on sale, and this one here, couldn't believe my eyes. They had it on sale for 13.99. I got out of there um, with this bottle for probably a little over, uh, maybe a little over 15 bucks for this out the door. So I couldn't pass it up. Knew I wanted to revisit it at some point, and I just knew it was time when I saw that price tag for 13.99. So um, it's a steal. It's a complete steal. So George Dickel, been around a long time. It says established in 1870. George Dickel himself, I believe, was a grocer and a merchant and all that, and started making his own whiskey a little bit later on. And it says, and even though it says 1870 on the bottle, this product here um, is actually, in its modern day form, is has been around since about 1964. So not quite as old as it seems, although George Dickel was making whiskey in the 1800s. and I believe they made it till Prohibition, and then of course they were kind of down and out until Prohibition ended in 1933, and then they picked back up again. Company got sold several times, and 1964 was when they, I think, built the new distillery and started bottling it as it is now. So pretty neat. That bottle is great. I still love this bottle. This is your classic looking Old West bottle. Got the raised letters all over it. It's pretty cool. But I'll read you the bottle, guys. So it's this one here, of course, it's a Tennessee whiskey, as I said. They do the Lincoln County process. They chill filter it. They filter it over maple charcoal, and it gives it a really nice flavor. Really nice. They have charcoal that they reduce down to pebble size or so, and put it in a vat, and they filter the whiskey over it. But yeah, guys, this is 90 proof, 45% ABV. So distilled and charcoal mellowed at George A. Dickel and Company, Tullahoma, Tennessee. Um, and it's always a small batch. Take it for what it's worth. Says Superior Number 12. Our Superior Number 12 has a rich depth of flavor, perfectly balanced with Dickel's signature smooth finish. The rich flavors of Number 12 come from resting our whiskey in oak barrels for years longer than our classic Number 8 blend. In this smooth finishing, uh, 90 proof whiskey, you'll find flavors of rich oak and subtle vanilla with hints of sweetness and smoke. Around here, we like to say there ain't nothing better. And then, there's a lot of writing on this bottle, guys. It says back in 1870, George Dickel began fulfilling his dream of crafting the smoothest Tennessee whiskey around. George believed to make the best whiskey, there was one ingredient that he needed most: time. While more than a century has passed since George Dickel distilled his first batch, we continue to honor George's timeless craftsmanship by letting our whiskey rest as long as it needs to before bottling. Inspired early on, George discovered uh, that his whiskey made in the cold winter months tasted smoother. Today we follow this tradition by chilling our whiskey before filtering it through sugar maple charcoal. We think our unique chilled filtration process makes a fine whiskey. Hope you agree. And last but not least, it says, take a sip of George Dickel's fine whiskey, and you'll know it comes from somewhere or someplace pretty special. It's called Cascade Hollow. Back in the 1800s, there were two things that drew George here: friendly people and the fresh water of Cascade Springs, some of the finest spring water we reckon to be found anywhere. If you come to Cascade Hollow for a visit, you'll find that not much has changed in the last century or so, on either count. So, a lot of writing, guys, but wanted to read all that. And as you guys can see, they spell whiskey like you'd see on a bottle of scotch. And the reason for that is George Dickel himself felt that his whiskey was, um, you know, pretty much right in line as far as the quality with a good scotch. So, and I agree. This is very, very good stuff. So I'm gonna give it a pour. If I can open it. Let's see. All right. So try to get a good pour in there, guys. As always. Um, and didn't I don't know what the age statement is. I think I knew at one point, but um, I've since forgotten. Uh, I want to say it was somewhere between 4 and 6 years, though. Could be more. Could be I don't know. Could be up to 8. I'm not sure. Go research it. Let me know. But the mash bill here, guys, is for I believe all of George Dickel's products. I'm not sure about the rye because that's actually made in Indiana and then sent back to Tennessee for bottling. So, but the ones that are made in Tennessee, uh, from what I know, are I believe mm, I believe 84% corn, 8% rye, and 8% malted barley. So, um, good bit of corn in that mash bill. And you look at the color, and it's a beautiful, Not sure if you guys can see against the wall there or not, but it's a beautiful, just straight up dark gold or copper color, light amber maybe, but nice. It's a beautiful color there in the glass, and the legs are fairly quick on this, but let's see what we got. And on the nose, uh, it's funny. My palate, I feel, has changed a bit since I've started even these reviews almost 3 years ago. Um, yeah, I've found myself, you know, gravitating toward higher proof whiskeys. Still like some of the 80 proofers and all that, but my palate. Bottom line, my palate has changed some, but this is one that I love the nose just as much as I did then. It's a beautiful nose. You do get some of that maple, that sugar maple charcoal, but it's not too. Sometimes back to Jack Daniels. Um, Not to knock Jack Daniels, but I feel like their product is a little too. Yeah, the charcoal's a little over the top for me. This one is much smoother. Um, you know, it's just a much nicer, more softer in a way nose, but it's really really nice, guys. That maple, I get a little bit of like a roasted peanut type note in there. You definitely get some vanilla. That's definitely some vanilla. Some oak in there. Something weird I'm getting right now though, guys. I don't know. Maybe my nose is off tonight, but I almost get like a little bit of a mustard seed in here. It's kind of a funny note. Not a bad note, but just a funny note to find in the whiskey. All right, let's give it a sip. I love this whiskey. I really love this whiskey. Um, you get a bit of again that sugar maple, um, some vanilla, definitely some corn, guys. There's a buttery like a buttered popcorn note about this definitely. Um, a bit of a almost like a leathery note as well. There's just a lot going on here. And this is one of those whiskeys that I will recommend to anybody. If you can find it, shoot. I mean, it's going to be hard to find in the $13.99 price range that I got this bottle for. Um, but I mean, I would pay. If I had the cash um, to pay it every week or every other week, I'd easily pay 30 $35 for this bottle, and it'd be worth every penny. Um, please get out there. If you haven't had this whiskey before, definitely do yourselves a favor and try it out. Try the number 12. I do like the number 8. Um, I like what else have I had from Georgia? The rye, of course, is good. As I mentioned, that one's made in Indiana, but the 12 is just spot on for me. Really good stuff, guys. Take one more sip and then give it a score. It's funny. The legs are pretty fast on this, on the glass, but it's got a thickness to it, guys. The viscosity is very nice. Um, really enjoy this. I'm getting a bit of a tobacco note in this. I get a bit of tobacco. Um, not so much chew. Um, yeah, I used to chew a little bit, but not anymore. But when I say tobacco, though, I'm talking about almost the plant itself, like freshly, picked tobacco. Um, it's got it's got some good stuff going on, guys. Some really good stuff. And rate this out, guys. It's so if you were to find it in the $30 price range, I'd say this is easily. I'd easily give this. I don't know, probably about an 88. Um, an 88 would be a justified score for this. But if you can find it, I mean, in the teens, it's going to be hard to find the teens now. I feel like I got lucky finding this. Yeah, I've seen a couple other places that have it for about 17.99 now. But again, this one was 13.99, and at that price, this is easily uh, for me in the 92 range. Um, it's that good. It really is that good. Um, Again, I know I give some high scores here, but it's because I picked these whiskeys in advance, a lot of them anyway. Some of them, I've never had before, but um, a lot of the ones I've had before and review on here, I know I'm going to give a good score in advance, guys, because that's the whole reason is to let you guys know about these very good whiskeys that you can get for a very good price. So again, um, I'd give this shoot a 92, even a 93. No joke, it's that good. Um, and if you look at other reviews, you'll see that other people have great things to say about this. One of my favorite reviewers, who is no longer unfortunately doing reviews, Jason Pyle. Jason Pyle was the first one actually to when I first bought George Dickel number 12. I did some research, bought the bottle, and then came home and I probably do what you guys are doing right now. I looked for whiskey reviews, found Jason Pyle's review on this one, and I watched it and drank along with him, and he was dead on. I mean, this is a very, very good whiskey. So please, if you see it, buy it. Worth every penny. You're probably not going to find it for more than I wouldn't think you're going to find it more in the states anyway for more than $30 or $35 a bottle. Pay that price if you can find it for lower. Grab it, definitely grab it. So again, 92, 93. I'm somewhere right in there, guys, for this bottle at this price. So that's it for this one. Hope you have a great weekend. Gonna watch some football this weekend. That Chiefs and Pats game is gonna be pretty good, guys. And you know, I mean, the NFC game is gonna be pretty good too. We'll see how it goes. The Rams and the Saints. So anyway, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Hope you all have a great weekend, and looking forward to talking to y'all soon. And until next time, cheers.